It's your boy Moses. Some of y'all can call me pastor. Some of y'all can call me friend. Some of y'all can call me homie. Some of y'all can call me big brother. Whatever the case may be, we back at it once again with another talk coming to you live. Matter of fact, we back at it like a switch hitter getting ready to make plays. All right, so week one, we're starting our new sermon series called Stretch Up. You know, Stretch Up is our new sermon series. So watch this quick video right quick to really get a vibe of what we're going for this week. Stretch up. Okay, boom, that was a dope video. Shout out to Stretch Armstrong. I grew up trying to get Stretch Armstrong toys, but you know, I grew up poor. It is what it is. But let's keep it rocking. Yo, so this week, we are inviting you to grow and stretch in your faith. You know, faith is one of those very interesting, kind of weird things. Like, the questions always pop up for me like, yo, what is it? How does it work? And how do we make it work in our lives? So I'm hoping that in this series that you guys will take a faith step towards Jesus, deepen your faith connection with God, and as you grow and pass through season to season, that faith will become an anchor for you. It's been an anchor for me, and it has been everything I've needed in times of joy and in times of happiness. So I hope that faith will be expressed in the same way. The reality is, though, understanding these concepts of faith can be sometimes difficult. So I'm gonna walk us through it. So check out this picture right here. Bow. Okay. So this picture, you see 4 different stages, okay, of a seed. All right. It starts off in the ground, buried. Then things happen to it, and then it begins to sprout a little bit. And then as more time passes, you start to see more growth in the 3rd stage. And then finally, before you know it, you see a fully grown plant. So when I think about concepts of faith, when I think about stretching our faith, what comes to my mind is this picture right here. It's the fact that for a seed, in order for a seed to grow, it has to endure certain elements. It has to go through a process on the earth. And sometimes those processes look like getting water, getting sun, getting wind, surviving storms, whatever the case may be. But faith works the exact same way. Can I prove it to you? Okay, let me give you some Bible for that. All right, we're going to go to Romans chapter 12, verse 1 through 2, and it says this: Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and prove. Then you'll be able to test and prove. Then you'll be able to test and prove what is God's will, his good and pleasing and perfect and beautiful will. So we got Paul once again chopping it up with us in this passage. He's talking to Christian leaders. This is a dude, y'all. His name used to be Saul. His name is Paul. And that transition was very interesting. In order for him to go from Saul to Paul, he had to endure some things. This man used to kill Christians. He used to think Christians were kind of crazy, kind of hooky. And then all of a sudden a seed gets deposited into him. He realizes that Jesus is the Son of God. And now he's leading other Christian leaders. But when we read that passage, what's the key word that pops up? It's the word transformation. So when I think about faith, I think about it again as a seed and as a flower. When I think about what it takes for a seed to become a flower, when I think about what it takes for us as people, as Christian believers, to be more like Jesus, we have to be willing to endure the process, endure the elements, and change. I'm going to say that again. In order for us to grow, we have to be willing to endure the process, endure the elements, and change. Here's the dadgum deal. Following Jesus isn't just saying a prayer one time and that's it. I need you to get that in your head, man, for real. And that when Paul is talking about that transforming and the renewing of our minds, what he's referencing is that we should not act like the rest of the world, and that we should allow transformation to be an ongoing thing that's happening in your heart and something that's happening in the inside that eventually gets expressed on the outside. And here's the reality. Only God can transform us. But we play a factor into that. We have to create an environment. We have to create a space where transformation can take place. Ooh, that's a bar. Create a space where transformation can take place. Y'all missing the bars. So how do we do that? How do we make it easier? Let me show you. It's in the Bible once again. Romans chapter 12, it says this. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourself. I say that a lot. Y'all know I say that a lot. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep in your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless those who persecute you. Bless those who persecute you, and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. What is Paul trying to tell us in this passage again? He's trying to tell us in order for us to create an atmosphere and an environment where transformation can take place, we must love one another. We must cling to what is good. Quit thinking things that are bad and quit saying those bad things are dope. Stop doing that. That's what he's telling us here. Saying be devoted to one another in love. Some of you guys don't even want to hang out with certain people because they don't do what you do or vibe the way you vibe. Quit doing that. We got to be devoted to one another in love. It says right here we got to honor those above ourselves. So some people that are watching this right now are like, Moses, I'm all about taking care of me. I want to make sure that me and my homies are good. I want to make sure me and my people are good. The passage is saying honor others above yourself. And then it says don't lack in no zeal. Keep that energy up. Keep that spiritual fervor up in serving the Lord. And then this is the big one that is uncomfortable, but that people be passing through all the time. This is remain patient in affliction. Ooh. In order for us to create an environment of transformation where God can invite himself into space, we got to create a place where we may be in a bad place or in a bad vibe, or people may be imposing negative things on us. We have to remain patient in that affliction. Practicing hospitality. Sharing with people that are in need. That helps us create this environment for us to become different and better people. The thread that I see in here is that we got to serve, we got to love, and we got to share. When we do that, we will be creating spiritual environments that will then lead us into creating spiritual habits that will then inform the way we live our life. These practices of saying that we're going to honor one another, care for other people, put other people before ourselves, getting into a rhythm and a practice of doing these things creates this environment where transformation can happen and you can become the person that you sense you need to be. So what am I trying to say? You can stretch your faith with your commitment. I'm going to say that again. You can stretch your faith with your commitment. So what does that mean? In order for us to be able to really embody what this passage says in Romans 12, we gotta say yes. And we can't only say yes, but we have to also follow that yes with a commitment. We have to follow that yes with fervor, with energy, with effort to be able to really fulfill these things. And here's the reality. When we remain committed to our transformation, it will add to the others that are around you, and it will also deepen you and deepen your relationships. When we remain committed to transformation, this also leaves room for you to be better. This is how we can really experience this robust faith that people are talking about, how they're able to pray and then things happen, or they're able to prophetically speak about things and then it happens. To be able to experience God in the spiritual realm, we have to create an environment that allows us to do that. So we can be better. We can do this. So what does that look like? Let me read that for you. In 2 Peter, it says this. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 through 8, it says this. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness to goodness, knowledge to knowledge, self-control to self-control, perseverance to perseverance, godliness to godliness, mutual affection to mutual affection. For if you possess these qualities in increasing measure, they will keep you from being ineffective and unproductive in your knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. Another version says this. For this very reason, adding your diligence and employing every effort in exercising your faith. Let me say that again. In exercising your faith to develop excellence, to develop resolution, to develop knowledge, to develop self-control, to develop steadfastness, to develop godliness, to develop brotherly affection, Christian love. To develop these things, we have to exercise. We got to stretch. So in other words, in order for you to create an environment where transformation can take place, so you can be able to practice and be a part of the things of the faith that are moving mountains and seeing things happen that don't happen in this realm, in order for that to happen is that you got to put forth energy in your transformation. You can't skip the process. There's no way around it. So what happens when we commit to these results? What happens when we say, you know what, I'm going to do this, but I don't know what it's going to look like going forward? Let me break it down for you. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 12, it says this. May the Lord make your love increase and overflow for each other and for everyone else, just as ours does for you. May he strengthen your hearts so that you will be blameless and holy in the presence of our God and our Father when the Lord Jesus Christ comes with all of the holy ones. What is he saying here? This is Paul speaking prophetically to Timothy as he is exercising his leadership to these church leaders. This is Paul transitioning the mantle of his leadership to Timothy, and he's speaking prophetically. That word prophetically means he's speaking with much anticipation of the future. He says that when we commit to each other to stretching our faith and committing to taking on the fight of transformation, when we commit to saying we will embrace the process, when we commit to saying that we can be better, that the results are we will have an overflow of love for one another, that our hearts will be stronger together, and that most importantly, that we will be blameless before God. That's a big deal. So here's what I want to leave you with. 4 things. Show up, love God, love others, ask questions. Let me say that again. Show up, love God, love others, ask questions. What do I mean by show up? Come to these right here. If you're sitting here and watching me talking on this screen, you all already taking a step in your commitment to being a better person. You're taking a step in your commitment to deepening your faith. You're taking a step in your commitment to deepening the transformation experience that will happen through Jesus. Show up to watching these things and hanging out with your small group leaders. Love God. Taking God seriously at his word, that he is a God that is kind and loving, but he's also a God that is vengeful and has wrath. Like taking him very seriously and creating an open space where you can receive him well. Love him. Love others. There is no way you can say you love God if you don't love the homies. You gotta love the homies because the homies look like God. You gotta love the homies. And then finally, ask questions. I am here for you. I've always been here for you. And you little homies is not asking me enough questions, bros and little mamas. Ask me questions about this. Ask Ben O'Neill questions about this. Ask Brandy Fawcett questions about this. We love you. We want to help you be great. So listen, show up, Love God, love others. Let's remain committed and stretch our faith. It's your boy Moses. Peace.